Hi, I'm Samantha, and I want to start by saying something important. I see you. I see the late nights you've spent perfecting your resume. I see the disappointment when another application disappears into the void. I see the self-doubt creeping in, making you question your worth and your qualifications. And I want you to know that every single feeling you're experiencing is valid and shared by millions of talented professionals just like you. The job market can feel impersonal and discouraging, but your career story deserves to be told in a way that captures attention and opens doors. That's exactly what Resume Flow does. We take your unique experiences, skills, and aspirations and craft them into a compelling narrative that employers can't ignore. You're not just looking for any job. You're looking for the right opportunity that recognizes your value and propels your career forward. With Resume Flow's AI-powered insights and optimization tools, we're going to make sure that opportunity finds you. Your breakthrough moment is closer than you think. Let's create it together.
Spartans! What is your profession?
You said it was Mandy, but it's still the same. Words like bandages that don't stop the pain. I held your words like glass in my hands, sharp truths and smooth demands. You said you meant the cracks I see, but promises break so easily. I trusted the stars, but they all fell down. Every promise made just spins around. The truth feels fake, the lies too real. I'm caught in the loop, I can't unfeel.
I reach, but it slips away. Truths turn shadows in the light of day.
I don't know what to believe anymore. Every fix just opens another door. Confidence feels like a hollow sound. I look for answers, but they can't be found. You paint the sky with a perfect hue, a shade of trust that fades to blue. I step forward, fall right through. Your mirror's cracked and so are you.
Tell me, what's the game? Truth and lies, they sound the same. Every time I think I've won, I'm back where I begun.
I built my faith like a house of sand, each grain slipping through my open hand. Your confidence is a polished mask, hiding the answers I forgot to ask. I don't know what to believe anymore. Every fix just opens another door. Confidence feels like a hollow sound. I look for answers, but they can't be found. Is it me who's blind or you who lies? Is it hope or hurt that keeps me tied? I'm a thread unraveling in the storm, trying to find where I was once born. Yeah. Check it. Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah. Cruising down A1A, that's the way we play. Fort Lauderdale, baby, every single day. Got the ocean breeze, palm trees swaying slow, where the yacht clubs meet and the good vibes flow. Beach Street booming, neon lights so bright. Spring break fever from the morning to the night. Sunsets painting orange, red, and gold. Stories of the city got so much to be told.
Fort Lauderdale, sunshine, state dreams, can you feel it?
Fort Lauderdale,
best way of life, that's for real.
Fort Lauderdale,
best way of life, that's for real.
Fort Lauderdale,
Fort Lauderdale,
that's what's
up. From the Intracoast to the Atlantic Shore, this is where we rep, and we always want more. Our soul, lost calling, that's the place to be. Crystal blue waters, that's home for me. Diving deep in the tropical scene, cleanest beaches that you ever seen. Sailboats riding high, captain at the wheel. Every night's a party, every day's surreal.
Fort Lauderdale, sunshine state dreams, can you feel it?
Fort Lauderdale,
Fort Lauderdale, that's where your life, that's for real it.
Fort Lauderdale.
Fort Lauderdale. How is everyone doing today? I am Techo Trough. We are Engineered to Win. It's Sunday. It is Sunday. Can you guys believe this? I told you guys back in March that 2025 might as well be over, and can you believe it? Can you believe it? We are already in March. March. We're already in November. Today, yesterday was November 1st. Today is November 2nd. That means we have this month and then 1 month left until 2026. Did you do the things that you said you wanted to do this year? What progress have you? I think I have, like, in all the things that I learned this year, I have pivoted and surpassed, thanks to AI, what I had imagined us being able to do. I am so excited about 2026. So many more opportunities for growth, so many opportunities to learn, so many opportunities to build. Like what we're working on today, the speech development app, the speech coaching app, it was just a thought, a concept, and I'm like, well, let's see what we can do. We're just having fun. We are just winning. We are just building. That's all. That's all that we can do is continue to grow every single day. Thank you guys so much for being here. All right. We are going to take, before we actually get to work, because we have some great work that we're going to be doing today, building this mobile app to help you speak better, take off all the ums and the likes and all that stuff that we say when we talk, to be more confident, better communicators. So that's the goal of the app that I'm prototyping / building. And we also have some great topics that we're going to be covering during our breaks as well. So that's the plan for today. That's the game plan. Before we do any of that, I have to take a moment to take care of some housekeeping. First and foremost, I want to give a big thank you to every subscriber to the channel, whether you've been with me for a very long time or whether you are brand new here, for allowing me to add just a little bit more value into your life. Whether we only talk in the chat, whether you join the Vibe Coding Chills, wherever it is that we communicate, just want to say thank you for allowing me to add more and more value into your life, because I want to see you win. I want to see you level up. I want to see you head into 2026 strong as ever. We did a lot of work in 2025. Now we need to keep it going in 2026. So for every subscriber to the channel who either you watch the shorts, you watch the clips, you watch the videos on demand, from Candid Conversation to Software Explorations to the Bug Bite, whatever it is that you watch, however I'm able to add value into your lives, I just have to let you know that I truly appreciate you for spending even time is money. A second of your time, which I've shown you how much a second of your time is worth through the time cost calculator. It is money. So by you even clicking on a video, clicking on subscribe, clicking on like, whatever it is, taking that second of your time, that's valuable to me. So I just want to let you know that I truly thank you, and I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Next up, my tech barbarians, my tech explorers, everyone who joins me in the Patreon, who meets up with me, communicates with me, we share ideas. I just have to let you know that I am proud of you. I see your effort, and we're going to keep going. We're going to keep working together. And that is one of the reasons that I'm building out my coaching portal, where at first, I was sharing it yesterday on our Vibe Coding show. At first, it was just so I can manage the people that I work with one-on-one, but it started to develop into where people can also use it to help themselves to better their lives. So I launched a waiting list for that, thrive.tickletrap.dev. And but the work that I see that everyone is doing, I am proud of you. And I know that all your hard work will pay off and will continue to pay off. So I have to let you guys know that we are the very, very best.
We the best.
And my tech mercenaries, those who allow this YouTube channel to continue to grow and to continue to expand across the world in multiple different languages. It means a lot to me that you support this channel and that you keep us growing, keep us strong. Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Okay, quick announcements. What do we have up for this week? Tomorrow, we have Candid Conversation, noon Eastern time premiering. We're going to be talking about these layoffs that are happening. These layoffs are coming from all over the place. Last week, we spoke about Microsoft and Amazon laying off 14 to 30,000 employees. UPS, I heard they're laying off 48,000 employees. Getting them up out of there. So we're going to be revisiting a topic. When I first came on YouTube, I was talking about, and they argued me down. I have a song for that too. Hate to say I told you so. But either way, neither here nor there. All right. We're going to be talking about it. How if you didn't do what I suggested you do 2 years ago, is it too late to escape and survive these layoffs? Or can you make a change? Can you look at the man or woman in the mirror and say, the change starts with me. We're going to do better. And we are going to either prevent getting laid off, or if we end up getting laid off, how to adjust, pivot, and land our next role quickly. Because you can't go to the government for help. They, my friends, are closed for business. They closed. Can't help you. We cannot help you one bit. So it's time for you to do it yourself. Let's revisit my suggestions 2 years ago. Stop trying to, quote unquote, job stack, be overemployed, trying to be in 10 different meetings at once, staying at the bare minimum surface level bottom feeder mode. And let's actually learn the industry that we're in and grow from there. So that's what we're going to be talking tomorrow. Candid Conversations. Wednesday, I'm going to be showing you guys how I set up my OBS so that I can have better audio quality, and it takes me a good streaming audio quality, and also sets me up for success when I am editing my video as well. So we're going to be talking about that. And then Friday's episode of The Bug Bite, we're going to be talking about UMG, Universal Music Group. They joined forces with UDO, who they were suing. Now they're together. AI licensing deals. Rough story. It is a rough story for AI and music. So we're going to review that, all of that good stuff coming up. Of course, we have our live streams Tuesday and Thursday night, working on the time cost calculator, working on possibly our lower thirds or open lovable. We shall see. But we're going to have a great week. Looking forward to seeing you throughout the week. You know, every single day I have to bring you new stuff, multiple content, because we do not miss. We have shorts, we have clips, we have premieres, we have live streams. We don't miss. We work. And this is just to work on YouTube. I'm also building apps to help you be more productive, to help you land jobs, all of it. Coaching, I want to see you guys win, right? I want to see you win. That's the mission. Winning is the mission. If you're not winning, then your mission has failed. Right? That's my intro. All right. So check the chat real quick, and then we shall get into an icebreaker. Then we get to work, break, work, break, work, break. All right. And before I even get into that, first and foremost, if you have not signed up for Resume Flow yet, check out resumeflow.app. Get 3, if you're not, especially if you're going through layoffs, if you're not getting any interviews, maybe you took a boot camp and you're like, I don't know what gives, I can't get an interview. Check out resumeflow.app, upload your resume. If the boot camp made it for you, 9 times out of 10, it sucks. Get some feedback on how you can make it better. See how the ATS rates your resume, and then let's go from there. Also, we do have the Tech Barbarians self-coaching. It used, like I was saying, it used to be just a coaching portal that I was going to use for my one-on-ones, but opening it up to be self-coaching. Sign up for the waitlist. There's no www in it. It's just thrive.techcoachralph.dev. I don't know why there's a www in there. I'll have to fix that. But it's just thrive.techcoachralph. Let me see if I can fix that actually. Thrive.techcoachralph.dev. And you should be able to sign up for the waitlist. I will start sending out invites this week because I made some enhancements. Shout out to my guy Junior who joined me for the Vibe Coding show yesterday. We were chatting and he gave me some suggestions. So definitely want to. I'm going to be making some more enhancements. So sign up for it. I'm going to start sending out invitations for it so that we can. Why is there a www in there? Hold on, let me take that out. Go. All right. So that should. All right. Yeah. So sign up for the wait list and I'll start sending an invitation so you can start using it, giving me feedback, what you like, what you don't like. I'm also going to make the video. I'm going to clip up the Vibe Coding show session from yesterday, make that video available of all the latest features that we added. I'm going to make that available for free. The whole session is going to be behind the paywall, but that part of it, I'm going to clip it up, make it available for free so you can see what the platform offers you, and so you can actually start winning. Basically, it is a tool to win. At the end of the day, I designed that tool so you can win. For me to win, for you to win, for us all to win, and we can do it together and alone. All right? So that is that. And lastly, my guy in the building says, if you can't beat them, join them. What's good, Junior? How are you doing today? Shout out to I'm telling you, my Junior helps me a lot. He helps me a lot. We were on the Vibe Coding show session yesterday, and we're going through the different apps, and he's giving me suggestions about this, about that. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm writing it down. I started implementing some of them. So really helpful individual. So shout out to my guy Junior. Wednesday, my first OBS video about setting up the sound is coming out, and then I have some more coming down the pipeline as well. All right, so let's jump into a little bit of an icebreaker for today. A little bit of an icebreaker. We're gonna start off the show with this, right? My message to you: stand your ground. Stand strong, and go at it alone. It's interesting, right? Because I just said work together, win together. But at the end of the day, you always hear like, oh, you're gonna die alone. Everybody dies alone at the end of the day, right? But so that's why you have to work really hard alone. And you always have to prepare for any type of situation or circumstance, because people, they will, how they say there's one thing, or there's one thing in life that's certain, or two things in life two things in life that are certain: death and taxes. And sometimes the death part might be questionable, right? But taxes are for. I'm going to add an extra thing, right? The third thing that is certain in life is people will let you down. There is no At some point, someone will let you down. So, and some letdowns are smaller than others. Some of them are bigger than others. But you always need to have mitigation plans. Because guess what? Whoever is waiting for whatever you need to deliver, they don't care about all your excuses. Oh, this person was supposed to do this. Oh, this person got into an accident. It still got to get done. It still has to get done. Right? So my message to you is the work that you do, whatever it is, you have to be the primary focus and beneficiary for it. Other people, they might benefit, they might profit from it and stuff like that, but you have to be the primary beneficiary for it because if you are doing it quote unquote for someone else, they can easily take all that you did away. And now they pull the rug up under you and you're left with nothing. And I believe that is where bitterness, anger, and resentment comes in, because you're like, oh, I did. If you ever hear like a failed relationship, for example, and they'll say, oh, I did so much and they didn't appreciate it. They took advantage of it, blah, 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 blah. Because they weren't doing it for themselves. They were putting all of their faith and hope and dreams and aspirations into someone or something else. So stand your ground, stand strong, make an agreement on what are we doing? What's the purpose of what we're doing? And sometimes you have to be that pioneer. You have to walk that road alone. And on that road, wherever it is that you're going, there will be people who come and they contribute a little bit, and then they'll disappear. They'll disappear. And that's okay. That there are many Houdinis in the world. But guess what? You never wake up. You never go to sleep with somebody, because everyone falls, like whether you're laying right next to somebody, everyone falls asleep at their own time. No one falls asleep at the same exact time. No one quote unquote falls asleep together. You fall asleep on your own, they fall asleep on their own. You open your eyes on your own, they open their eyes on their own. So you have to be very, very your mission based. And I think it's a wonderful thing when we can agree on a mission. But guess what? At the end of the day, that mission is still your mission alone and their mission alone, because they have their role to play and you have your role to play. And hopefully we can have our two missions share a joint purpose that are contributing to the same endpoint. But guess what? If that person decides to change, or that group of people decides to change what they want their mission to be, you can't be of the position to, oh, I got tricked, I got hoodwinked, feeling bitter and angry and all that stuff. No, because you took on somebody else's mission instead of you believing in the vision and the purpose and the mission. You adopted someone else's mission, and then they took it away from you, and now you're left alone, looking around like Will in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air after he came back and the house was empty. No. Everyone needs their own mission. Everyone needs their own purpose. And even with from my video last week, when you have a purpose and you're able to give other people purpose, that purpose that you give them, they should make it their own purpose. Like they should adopt it as their own purpose as well. Like that is their mission to accomplish. So that now they have that sense that they're going after it. You can't take it away from them at that point. But that's how I see it. I think that you should never have to depend on anybody. Let's work together as a team. But you always have to have that mitigation plan. Because if they don't do what they're supposed to do, now what? That's my thoughts. That is my thoughts. That is my icebreaker for today. All right. We are going to get to work today working on the speech coaching app using Supabase, Kilo Code, Gemini. All right. Maybe not Gemini CLI. We're not really using spec kit because we already have our specs laid out and everything like that. Now we need to build. Last time when we were working on it, we ran into a little bit of an issue. We were getting a login page, but we couldn't do anything with it. So we're going to be investigating, trying to figure that out. I'm going to put 20 minutes up on the clock, and then I'm going to go to see where we're at, right? So let's go.
It's time to do.
All right, so we are jumping over to this screen. This is we have our, what do you call this? We have our, where's my mouse? There we go. We have Android Studio up and running. We need to start up. Supabase. Let's do npx Supabase start. And I will bring up my Docker window as well. So you can see Supabase actually is going to get started. So it's starting the database from backup. And waiting for health checks. And looks like we're up and running. We have our API URL. We have our GraphQL. We have our S3 storage URL. We have our MCP URL, database URL, studio, mailpit, publishable key, a bunch of stuff, right? Which all this is running locally, so it's not even connecting anywhere. So this information doesn't even matter. Interesting that we have our own local S3 environment, so pretty cool. All right, we are going to jump over here, and I'm going to get started a mobile device, an emulator, and the issue that we had last time was when we got the emulator started and we started the application, we had a we had this login screen, but we had no login information. Let me see this over here. Let's close this down. Let's do it like this, and we need to see like how are we going to log into this, right? So if I also go to, so if we look at what is the admin? Oh, I think it's studio URL. So let's go here. Let me see if that loads. That doesn't load. Oh, I'm missing something. 2, 3. Okay. So let's go over here. So if we so this is our project. I don't think it's really connected yet though. Let's see, table editor. There's no tables. There's nothing there. Database. There's nothing created yet. So basically it's showing us a login screen over here, but there's actually nothing that is created. So let's go to what if we were to do here. I do test at test.com and we do test, right? Because I don't know if it's supposed to. Oh, you know what? Let me start the app. That would be helpful. Starting the app is always a helpful thing to do. Ooh, something failed. Cannot find this to match. Ooh, why is that? Okay, so somehow that got deleted. So let's go ahead and run this again. But you see how you can like, from a concept, because let's say we end up like, oh, this isn't gonna work, and we just totally get rid of it, right? But for such a low cost, and you know, just got a desktop app as well. Test at test.com. Test. So okay, so this no host specified in URI. All right, so we need to start putting this information in here. So I'm just gonna do this question. Like, all right, so how can we set up the connection to Supabase? This is we are currently running Supabase locally. Let's see what we get with that. Let me hide the device manager. Okay. All right. So, okay, we're setting up the connection to your Supabase, to your local Supabase instance involving initializing Supabase client in your Flutter app. I'll create the config.dart file to hold your Supabase credentials and then initialize the Supabase client in your main.dart. First, I'll create the configuration file. What's the URL of your local Supabase instance? It's typically something like this. Also, what's your Supabase add-on key? You can find this in your Supabase project settings. So, Supabase URL, and let's go to Supabase. It would be this, right? Come on, stop it. I'll just put it in manually over here. Somehow it didn't take. I guess that would work. Actually, oh my god. Got way too many files open. Let me see if I can get back to that file. Config.dart. All right, localhost should work, right? Yeah, localhost should work. And then your add-on key. Where do I find my add-on key? Where would I find my add-on key? That would be, all right, let me see if I go to here. Can I find my add-on key in here? All right, let's see. Where do I find my Supabase add-on? Can be found within Supabase dashboard for your project. Navigate to your Supabase project. Log into Access API. The left hand. Hmm. API docs? No. Authentication. Integration. Where would it be? Hold on. Database. Project overview. No. They said access API settings in the left-hand sidebar of your project. Dash settings, select API. All right. Go back. I don't see a application. Nope. Where is it? Where is my on? Nope. I don't see. Trying to find. All right, hold on. I don't see settings. Let me try something else. All right, so understanding API keys used for backend. All right, where the heck is the add-on? Add-on and publisher keys secure the public components of your application. Public components run in environments where it's impossible to secure any secrets. Where do I find it? Settings. Not here. Roles. I see add-on. I don't see the key for add-on. Let me see. Reset your database password. Disk management roles. I see an add-on. I don't see the key though. Where do I find this add-on key, for crying out loud? I can't find my Supabase add-on. Next up, Gemini. Log into your database account, navigate to the dashboard, select the project, and choose a specific project for which you need API keys. Go to project settings on the left-hand menu of your project dashboard and click settings, navigate to API settings within. See that? Is it called the public? Is the add-on key the same as the publishable key? No, they're not the same. For the purpose of a client-side key in services like Supabase, the publisher key is a direct replacement for the add-on key. The publishable key is designed for use in publicly accessible code. I don't know. New publisher keys. All right, I'm gonna a single publisher key with the can be okay. So look at this. A single publishable. What's the change? A single publishable key. Exactly. All right, so we're gonna use the publishable key. Okay, so we have a publishable key over here, right? And we are going to go in here and say this is our anon key. Hopefully that's okay. And we will say start the app again. Start. And I don't even know if it started or not. Let me see. Stop. Start. All right, let's see what's happening with this now. Okay, that's why. All right, test.com. So let's say connection failed. I will say when I try to, let's copy this whole thing over here. When I try to log in with an account on the app, I am getting this error. However, there are no databases or tables created yet in Supabase. All right, let's paste the error. And let's see what we get from that. The way that they all right, based on the error, it seems like your Flutter application is running into a mobile device or simulator can't connect to localhost. This is a common issue in mobile development because localhost on the device refers to not on your computer. To fix this, you will need to use the IP address of your computer on your local network instead of localhost. Okay, that makes sense. Let's do this command. I can run that command. All right, so now we're gonna go here. Okay, it made the update for us. All right, I could do that myself though. But anyways, let's go ahead and run that. You should be able to. I mean, there are no tables or anything like that created yet, so I'm not sure how we're gonna be able to sign in, but we'll find out. Let's go to. Go with that. All right, connection failed. So it's going to the right address now. Let me see if we're actually able to access it through this address. I think it kind of did work. If we were to, all right, so what I'm doing over here is I'm taking the 10 dot something 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 IP address and I'm dropping it in here. Okay, so that does work. That does work. All right, so now we're gonna go back and take this code over here. So we are able to connect to that IP address. So that means that the emulator should be able to connect to our IP address. Now I'm getting this error. It is trying to connect to the address. Still being blocked even with the correct IP. The operation not permitted. Operation not permitted. Issue permission. The permission issue on Android. You have to allow the app to make network requests to a local server using HTTP address. I will modify the Android manifest. Okay. And I mean, in the future, it won't have to do that. This is a common step when developing with a local non-HTTPS. First, I need to review. Okay, I reviewed your Android manifest. The debug manifest correctly includes the internet permission, but the main manifest needs to change to allow connections to your local non-HTTPS. I'll add that. I've updated the Android manifest. All right, let's go ahead and
Lunch break! Lunch break!
let's try to run it real quick, and then we're gonna go to break. Let's see. Go here. Say testing at test.com. Testing. Still getting a connection failed. Says the. Let me stop it and start it, because sometimes when you just do the flash reload, it doesn't register whatever the changes are. I do think it'll be pretty cool that we can also have a Mac OS app, a mobile app for Android, for Apple. You know, testing at testing.com, test. And now we still have the same issue. Operation not permitted. Copy that. I'm gonna say I'm still getting the same issue. The operation is not permitted. All right, we are going to let it do its thing, and we're gonna go to break, and we'll see if there's any insight that we get from that. But we are at break. Our first break time topic for tonight is, should you be the first to speak in meetings? So I came across this article on Forbes, and honestly, I am rarely ever the first to speak in meetings. I like to listen, digest what other people's thoughts, unless I'm presenting something, right? Unless I'm sharing an idea, that's something different. But usually I'm listening, I'm analyzing, I'm thinking to see, does this make sense? You can definitely see my facial expressions when I'm thinking. I'm like, how does that sound? I'm like, I'm not sure about that. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I definitely am a facial expression person when people are talking. Sorry if I ever made a facial expression while you were talking, but it's just me thinking. It is just me processing in real time. That's my quantum computer mind that is, or not, that is processing in real time, right? So we are going to jump into this article, which is, it's asking the question, if you want to have more influence, what the science says. Okay, so let's jump into it. It says, so this article brought to us by Forbes, by Mark Murphy, a senior contributor at Forbes, says, want more influence? The science, follow the science, says you need to speak first in meetings. I've also seen some articles that say that you should not speak first. So let's see what's going on. It says, every professional knows the frustration of having great ideas that somehow don't stick. You share smart points, but by the time you speak up, the decision already feels made. Here's the secret few people talk about. The first person to speak in a meeting often shapes the entire outcome. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, because I've seen people bring up ideas and it's debated and discussed, and it's like it's the literal battle for an idea where people are sharing, well, what about this, what about that, oh, I didn't really think about that, I didn't consider that, oh, this, it won't work because of this, oh, it would work because of that. Maybe it's a tech thing, maybe it is a tech thing. And then they also have, like, where, especially in tech, where you'll do a design review where you just have a document and people are giving all their inputs and thoughts about it, why this is good, why this is not good, I like this, I like that, I would use this technology instead. So let's see. It says that's not ego or seniority. It's neuroscience and social psychology. The order in which voices enter the room determines whose idea anchor the conversation and whose gets lost in the shuffle. If you understand how that works, you can turn every meeting into an opportunity to lead, even if you don't have the biggest title. I don't know. Maybe it's a non-tech thing they're talking about, but I think that people in tech, QA, software engineers, DevOps, cybersecurity, they are all listening from a particular perspective, and they won't back down of their thoughts or opinions just because someone threw something out there. And I've seen too where you might get pushback from a particular person at first, but then they come around and they're like, actually no, and they're like so they'll say the pushback first, and then later on they're like, but if we did do this, then these are the benefits as well. I really think that it's about processing what's being said. Right? It says the power of going first. In Leadership's IQ's team effectiveness and frustration study, only 36% of employees said conflict in their teams is resolved productively, and just 18% feel completely safe voicing an unpopular opinion. Most people are waiting to see which way the room leans before they speak. That hesitation is your opportunity. When you speak first, you establish the frame, you define what normal sounds like. Others instinctively start responding to your idea. Whether they're agreeing, refining, or debating it, it's still on your terms. That part, that is fair. That is fair. I would also say, even if you're not the person to speak first, you have an idea, you should still share your idea. Because sometimes you can, when you share more ideas, you can start seeing, are there opportunities to combine, to say, all right, maybe in the first idea, this part doesn't work and that part doesn't work, but this part works. And in the other person's idea, this part doesn't work. What we're doing, the idea from part one does cover this one in a better way. So I really do think it's about collaboration as well. And I think it takes which maybe most teams are not that strong, but I think it takes a strong team not to just go with that herd mentality, herd thinking. And another way that I would, because I don't like, even if this is probably true for most cases, but I don't like it. Because I don't want the first person to speak is the idea that we're all going to be clinging to. I would rather, if the idea is shared in the beginning, like before we ever meet, and now we are starting to brainstorm. So like, let's say bring your own ideas, right? If you have an idea, bring your own ideas to the meeting. And before we even go down the rabbit hole of agreeing, refining, or debating someone's particular idea, let's list all the ideas. And then we can actually go and start agreeing, refining, debating a multitude of ideas, voting on them and stuff like that, instead of, oh, the first person to speak is the one that we're going to go with, right? I can understand how it does happen though. It's called the herding effect, and it's one of the most under-recognized levers or influence in modern organizations. It says, in one study, researchers analyzed more than 400,000 Wikipedia debates about whether newly created articles should be kept or deleted, and they discovered something remarkable. When the very first vote in the discussion was to keep an article, the odds of the final decision also being keep jumped by more than 40 percentage points. When the first vote was to delete, the likelihood of deletion increased by about 20 points. That simple sequence of who speaks or votes first created a gravitational pull that shaped every discussion that followed. It's a striking example of how easily group opinions can cascade from a single opening voice. I'll say this too, though. I think that the quote unquote herd idea, herd mentality is more likely to creep up when it's something that's not that important. It's a decision that's not like, who cares, right? So like, let's just go with what Samantha suggests, with what Susan suggests. We can agree, debate, refine that because it's not that big of a deal. But if it's a major decision, I want pushback. I want pushback. That's how I see it. Let's see. All right, where were we? All right, when the first vote was to delete, I already read that. That simple sequence, I read that. It's a striking example of how easily group opinions can. All right, we read that. So just whoever goes first, whether the CEO or the most confident mid-level manager creates the gravitational pull that the rest of the team orbits around, the discussion doesn't begin from neutral ground. It begins from wherever the first voice plants the flag. Done poorly, it's manipulation. Done well, it's leadership. I don't know. I see it. Maybe I just don't like it. Maybe I just don't like it. But I do understand it. Why the first voice matters more than the loudest one. Humans are wired for harmony. Once an opinion is on the table, we subconsciously adjust toward it. So in meetings, if you're thoughtful and well prepared, speaking first allows you to set the mental GPS for everyone else. You're not shouting to be heard. You're providing clarity before the noise begins. So, and whenever somebody says, I don't like the terminology, I'm just playing devil's advocate, because that assumes or presumes that what you're saying, what you're like, your pushback, the other side of what you're talking about, of the person's idea, is either bad or wrong, although it's a different perspective. I think that it is good to be unagreeable when necessary and in a polite and respectful way, but do not have yes men or yes women. One of the things that I love about tech and I love about like GitHub pull requests is you're asking for feedback on your code. And I love when I see people are giving feedback on better ways to do things. This would be more efficient, more optimal if you did this. In our vibe coding show yesterday, when Junior's like, "Oh, what do you think about if you were to add this feature to the content creation assistant, where you could do this and that?" And what I love the most about when we do our vibe coding shows, and I'm showing off the different apps that we're building and making it available for people, and it's like as I'm working through, I'm like, "Oh, you know what? I made a full list of improvements yesterday as we were going through the apps and talking about them and sharing them." But I think it's good though to have pushback, to be quote unquote disagreeable I think through disagreements, that's where you get the best results, because you're pushing people, you're fighting them so that they can do more, do better. I mean, sports is a disagreeable thing. Imagine if both teams were like besties and they just lived in harmony. It would be a boring game, right? So I think it's good to be disagreeable, to get that pushback, because it forces your brain to think harder, to think more. All right. So it says, but there's a catch. Going first works only if you've built credibility and use your influence to advance the team, not just for yourself. Bruh. Now we're getting somewhere. The shoe drops. The other shoe drops, all right? When people see you anchoring conversations around insights, evidence, and purpose, they'll start looking to you for direction even when you're not officially leading. The inverse is also true. If the first voice in the room is reactive, self-interested, or poorly informed, the herd will still follow. It will just be down the wrong path. See, and I think we need protection around that. And I'll say this too, right? If the first voice in the room is just reactive, just self-interested, and just poorly informed, they should not be in the room as well, right? Why are they in the room then, if that's the case? They shouldn't be there, right? Am I wrong on that? If they're reactive, if they're self-interested, if they're poorly informed, why the hell are they there in the first place? Right? That's why the best leaders use the herding effect intentionally and ethically. They think strategically about who should go first depending on the decision being made, which you can say, oh, what do you think, so-and-so? Based on what we're talking about and a decision. Every team has 5 distinct roles. Most people assume effective teams are built around personalities or job titles, but data from the test, what type of team player are you? I want to take that test. Let me see if I can take that test. A new tab. We'll see if we can take that test after we're done. Shows that the most successful group balance 5 distinct roles. Each brings a different kind of intelligence to the table. Directors are decisive drivers. They thrive on clarity, competition, and results, keeping the team focused on goals and accountability. Achievers are execution masters. They care deeply about the excellence, precision, and follow-through, turning plans into tangible results. Stabilizers are the process guardians. They bring structure, consistency, and risk management, ensuring that ambitious ideas actually work in the real world. Harmonizers are relational glue. They sense tension early, resolve conflict, and protect the trust and morale that holds the team together. Trailblazers are innovators. They push boundaries, ask provocative questions, and inspire creative leaps, and the rest of the team might never consider. So if I had to choose one of these, or I'd have to branch them together, I would probably say between achiever, stabilizer, and trailblazer. Maybe more on the trailblazers. I would say between stabilizer and trailblazer. I am a stabilizing trailblazer. How about that? Stabilizing trailblazer or achieve. I have a lot of achiever in me, but I can definitely see a stabilizing trailblazer. But we'll take the test, right? Each of these roles bring essential strengths. When teams recognize who embodies which role, they can tap into their full potential. It says, you know what? Right, how the herding effect interacts with team roles. Depending on what kind of conversation your team is having, the person who speaks first should change. The herding effect is powerful, but it's even more powerful when you align it with the right role. So they have this little diagram here. Who should speak first? Go first and set the direction and focus. The director makes tough decisions and guides the team direction even when unpopular. The trailblazer brings innovation. All right, we read that. We read all these already. Go first. So go first to spark innovation for the trailblazer. I've done this before. The harmonizer, go first to build trust and ease tension. I don't really do that. I will do if it's necessary. I can fill that role, but that's not my main goal or thing that I'm thinking about. Achiever, go first to raise standards and precision. I think as part of quality, you have a lot of achiever in you. Go first and steady the process and manage risk. For quality, these two are applicable. This one is more of a mindset thing and not for the role that I actually like my actual position at work, but it's just a mindset of being innovative, trying out new things, looking for solutions, right? It says if you need bold new ideas or innovation, start with the trailblazer. Trailblazers challenge assumptions and open up mental doors that others didn't know existed. When a trailblazer speaks first, they expand the possible and make it psychologically safe for others to think bigger. If your team needs focus, prioritization, and clear path forward, your director should go first. Directors bring confidence and urgency, transforming ambiguity into movement, but they should lead only when the team risks drifting or over debating because their authority can unintentionally shut down creative thinking. When goal is precision, quality, or technical execution, let an achiever open up the conversation. Their analytical mindset pulls everyone together, everyone towards rigor and results. The herd starts thinking about data, metrics, and craftsmanship. I see that in me too. For decisions about risk systems or process improvement, start with your stabilizer. They bring calm, structured logic. Their measured tone prevents rash decisions and ensures every bold idea gets a reality check before action. It says, and when the stakes are human, such as change management, culture shifts, or emotionally charged projects, you have your harmonizer speak first. All right, I'm gonna I can be a harmonizer, but that's not me. I be about business. And Scrum Masters make excellent harmonizers. They bring empathy to the forefront. That's a tough one right there. Reminding the team that behind every chart and metric are people. When a harmonizer leads, the group orients around understanding rather than defensiveness. And that's one thing that my team at work, we really try to put forward is understanding rather than defensiveness. Each opening creates a very different gravitational pull. The question isn't who has seniority, it's whose role best fits the problem the team is solving right now. And I'll say this, right? Based on your strong suit, you should be the one to introduce a topic and present it and share the idea for that particular topic. Using the herding effect ethically. Keyword is ethically. The herding effect isn't about manipulating others. It's about designing conversation that starts in the right place. If you're brainstorming a new product, have your trailblazer go first to spark energy and stretch boundaries. When it's time to turn ideas into execution, pass the baton to your achiever or stabilizer. If you're tackling an emotionally charged decision, let your harmonizer open up and then follow with your director to establish direction and close loops. This sequencing, who speaks first and when, can determine whether your meeting feels like an argument or a collaboration. Great teams don't just talk, they choreograph like a Beyonce music video, right? When silence becomes the strongest voice. The herding effect can work against you if the wrong person goes first or if everyone hesitates too long. When a scene, whenever someone asks a question and nobody answers, I get I'm like, all right, I guess I should answer because I'm like, what do you do, right? As it's, when a senior leader opens with a strong opinion before others have thought independently, the rest of the group often defaults to agreement. Oh, I will give pushback on that because maybe it's me because I work with really talented and strong people. So if there is something that it doesn't matter who is saying it, because like everyone is super smart and talented, if they disagree, they will say I don't think this is a good idea. And they'll say why, and they have no problem saying why. And I think that is great. Like I said, it is good to be disagreeable in an agreeable way, right? It says when what looks like alignment can actually be quiet compliance. That's why high-performing teams sometimes pre-sequence their discussions. They decide in advance who should open based on the type of challenge. Some even rotate that first voice weekly, letting different roles shape the opening frame depending on what the team most needs. A director might start 1 week strategic session. The next week, a harmonizer could open up a conversation about employee morale. The rotation keeps the team cognitively diverse and keeps the herding effect working for them, not against them. Now, the hidden lesson. What is the hidden lesson behind all this, right? Influence. Influence isn't just about authority. It's about timing and sequence. Every meeting has a psychological architecture. That is true. That is true. And then it's like if someone doesn't want to be at a meeting, it makes the meeting tough to go through because it's like you don't want to participate and we need participation, right? And whoever lays the first brick determines the shape of what follows. The herding effect will always exist. You can't eliminate it, but you can harness it. When you understand your team's role and intentionally choose who goes first, you transform meeting from passive discussion into active instruments of direction. So the next time you walk into a meeting and wonder how to make your voice heard, remember, leadership often begins with not with volume, but with timing. All right. So shout out to Mark Murphy. Amazing article. I think I understand. I've seen a little bit differently in my career, but I'll say this too, though. At different stages of my career, I could see how the herding effect was in full effect. Oh, ooh, and here's what they'll do too. When because he's talking about it could be manipulation, it could be leadership. Here's what the manipulation will happen too. So some people, they will build this whole thingy, right? Which totally goes away from the direction, the vision, the plan, the structure of the team, and they will go through back channels. And if you ever seen Mad TV Stewart, where he's like, look what I can do. So they'll go to the powers that be and say, oh, I created this. And they will sell the dream. And now when they go to present it, they already have the backing of poor leadership. And then they'll be like, and they'll be like, oh yeah, it does this. And so now when you have the stabilizer start to question, like, okay, well, what about this? What about that? Now you have that person and leadership fighting against the stabilizer, and the stabilizer is like, you know what? Do I have that? Oh, I don't even have that. I don't have that soundbite yet. But the leadership is fighting, and the person is fighting against the stabilizer, and you're like, you know what? Forget it. Do whatever you. As T.I. said, you can have whatever you like. I'm not doing it. I'm not wasting my time with this. That happens as well. I think that is the bigger thing that happens than what about the speaking first thing. It's more about when they go through back channels to force a bad idea on an entire team, and you have weak leadership forcing that whole change and shift in direction and narrative and purpose. That's the bigger challenge in my eyes. That is the bigger challenge in my eyes. All right. Anyways, let me check the chat. Let me check the chat to see what we got going on in here. And then we shall move on. Drew says, speak first. I don't know about that. That sounds like someone who just wants to talk instead of actually adding value. After reading it, I kind of understand it. And they also added some caveats to that as well. Drew says, to be honest, it doesn't even matter who shares first if the goal is to get better. But I love your idea about listing all the ideas first because before starting to have a discussion on each idea. Yeah, I think that's helpful because if you're like, all right, we want to achieve X, Y, and Z, share some ideas on how we can do that. And now you can start putting things together, because when you just have somebody who is just taking the whole direction, your brain isn't really thinking about all the different possibilities, right? And Drew says, I think you can keep the poorly informed in the room, but the rest of the people need to be strong enough to not let that person set the pace. Honestly, I want to work with winners. Like, it sounds terrible. It sounds terrible. But I mean, does that really sound terrible? I want to work with winners. I want to play with winners. I don't like people who are going to be taking away from the energy from like what we're trying to accomplish. If you're going to be a Debbie Downer, a negative Nancy, if you're not going to be prepared for what we're doing, for what we're working on, and you're just like being the contrarian to be the contrarian, if your work quality isn't good, then why are you there? See, I think a lot of the failure in government at any level is due to poorly informed people making decisions. It's so now I'm like, I don't want to work with them. I'm sorry. I don't think that they should be in the room, in the building, in the company. If you're poorly informed, if you're not giving it your all to contribute to the success of whatever it is that the team is doing,
do not come.
That's how I see it. That is how I see it. All right. We are going to jump into another segment, working on the app and see if we can get it to connect to Supabase. Let's get to it.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right. So let's go back to the screen and see what we got going on. All right. I have to move this because this thing drives me crazy. That the fact that it is, let me see, what is this? Layout setting. I don't know. There's gotta be a way to get this to be. There's gotta be a better layout than this. There's I just want it to be by itself. I'm just gonna put it by itself. Let's go there. All right, there we go. That's better. Now I can see it without having to mess with a bunch of stuff. So let's move this over to here. Let's move this over to here. And all right, I think that'll work. Let me see if I can make this a little small. I don't even really need that. I just need this. All right, there we go. Let's go with this. All right. So we are still getting the connection. So added internet permissions to your Android manifest. This ensures the application has the necessary permissions to access the network and build configurations. Please stop and restart your application. Let's try that. Stop, restart. Now I'm liking this view. I can see my emulator. I can see my Kilo build agent, and I can see. All right, so I say test at test.com and test. And now operation not permitted. Connection failed. See, I'm wondering though if it's failing because there's nothing for it to connect to, or if it's because auth retriable fetch exception, client exception with socket exception, connection failed. But why though? Let's see. I don't think it's a firewall. Well, this kind of is a Docker. Let me see. Let's say we still have this error. I am using Docker to run Supabase locally. I am still getting this error, but I'm not sure if it is due to network connection or a lack of a database in Supabase. Database being set up. Ah, shoot. Let me stop that. Cancel. Edit. Like to paste the error. Say send. Given that you're running Supabase in Docker container and still facing a connection error, the issue is almost certainly related to how Docker's networking is configured. When a service runs inside a Docker container, it's on a separate virtual network. Your mobile device is trying to connect to your computer's IP address, but Supabase service isn't directly exposed there. I don't know, because I'm able to get to it. The error is a strong indicator that the connection is being blocked at a network level. Not that the database is missing tables. Supabase auth can function without any custom. Okay, that is true. That is true. It doesn't need tables to fix this. You need to ensure that the port Supabase is using inside the Docker container is correctly mapped. I'll start by listing the running Docker containers to see how the ports are mapped. Okay, let's do that. Run the command. Oh, come on. Something's up with this thing. It seems Docker is not available. This can happen if Docker is installed but not in system path. However, since you mentioned you're running Supabase locally, you likely did or Docker Compose, and Supabase CLI is automatically managing Docker containers. The core of the problem remains the same. Your mobile app can't reach the Supabase services running inside the Docker container. When you run Supabase start, the services are typically only exposed to local hosts on your machine, not the entire network. To fix this, you need to make sure Supabase services are listening on all network interfaces, not just localhost. So you can achieve by publishing to the ports 2000. Let's try to inspect the Supabase config.toml. This appears that it doesn't exist. Let's say I'm able to access my Supabase through the URL. I'm able to access Supabase through the URL. Why would let's see, from my computer? Oh, I have an idea too. What if we go to here, use without an account, and we say continue, and we say and that would be if this is able to access the Supabase from the phone, like on a mobile way, then that means that we have connection to it. Yeah, you see, so we're able to access it. So it's not the all right. Okay. Let me see. And I also was able to access the Supabase dashboard through the emulator. Not sure why the app can't connect to. Let's see what we get from there. All right. So it says, thank you for your crucial information. Knowing that you can access Supabase on your computer confirms that Supabase and Docker network correctly. This isolates the problem. On Android, despite having the correct IP and manifest permissions, can sometimes be caused by a, you know what? It's trying to do it on Android, but we've been working on it on the Mac. So what if we were to say, run it on the Android? That might be a mistake that I was making right there. Let's see. Let's see what this one gets us. Annoying. Okay. Okay, so basically, all right, so whatever is happening on, all right. The Android is working properly, but the Mac OS app is getting the connection error. So that's my bad. Like I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. It kept on fixing it for Android, but we're using the Mac OS app. So let's fix it for Mac OS real quick. And it should also fix it for the iOS too while it's at it. And we still have a different issue. So now it's the issue with the authentication, which I'm not even sure. Are there any even users in here? We don't have any users. So I guess you have to create a user. And then, so configure your macOS app to allow network connection for your local Supabase instance by updating the necessary entitlements. Please stop and rebuild your macOS app. Can we also make sure it is set up for iOS as well? So I think we're gonna have to go and create a user inside of, we're gonna have to create a user inside of Supabase. And then we should be able to log in at that point. All right, so all of them should be configured. Let's go to OS, stop macOS, start macOS. I'm not gonna even try to start up iOS yet, but if macOS is working, I'm gonna assume that iOS is working for now. Test. All right, perfect. Now we have invalid credentials. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna go over to Supabase. And we're gonna create a user. Create new user. And I'm just gonna do tech coach or tech coach Ralph at gmail.com. And I'll just use TCR 2025. Let's go with that. Auto confirm. And we shall do. The reason I said it is because right now because I know I'm gonna forget it. I know I'm gonna forget it. So I'll just go back and watch my own stream and say, oh yeah, that's what I said it was. All right. So now we're gonna try to log into the app. We are going to say tech coach Ralph at gmail.com. TCR 2025. Log in. What? We in there like swimwear. What? Let's try on this one too, right? Let's try on this one too. Oops. TC Tech Coach Ralph. Com. And the password TCR 2025. What? Can you what?
Let's get it.
Let's get it. All right. So now that we're in here, how the hell does it work? I can see some text back there, but I can't see anything in particular. Can't see anything. Let's say, okay, start a new session. What? So let's do it on the Mac. Let's say we start a new session, and what does this do? Nothing yet. Okay. So basically, we have implemented. Let me close out some of these files. Android network. Let's take care of the other error that I've been seeing as well. So we got that one done. Well, good enough. All right. Sweet. All right, we're good. We're good. So next up on the agenda is going to be, so what did we implement already? So, figure for now. Let's close. I'm gonna close everything down. I am in, all right, 001. Let's go to project. Tasks. How do I know if tasks have been, let's move this over here for now. How do I know the status of a task? Oh, okay. So I guess the checkbox meaning that they were done? Is that what they mean? Let's go here. And let's move. All right, let's go like that. So I don't do these. Okay, I guess the checkbox mean that they were done. Um let's see. All right, let's do this because it's hard to navigate. So let's say let's start a new task. I am able to log in now. I see start new session, graph placeholder, and under recent sessions, a white box that looks like it has text in it, but I can't see it. It looks like white on white text. Can we make it look better and more visually inviting? Let's go with that because it's hard. It's kind of hard on the eyes right now, but I'm so happy that we're able to log in. All right, so it's saying that the white on white text is definitely not ideal. I'll get that fixed and make the session a little more visually appealing. I'll create a plan to address this. I've confirmed over here the correct file. The issue is that the card widget has a default white background and the text widget inside the list title are likely inheriting a white color from the default theme, causing the white on white text problem. Okay, I found the problem. The card widget defaults a white background is clashing with the list title, which is also white. I'll update. All right. I've applied a new design. Okay, let's go ahead and rerun. Let's go here, go here. Okay, that's a little better, although it's still getting the white on white text on this one. I'm still getting the white on white text for the recent sessions. Hello, user clarity score trend.
Lunch break.
There was something
Lunch
there. Oh, I
break.
didn't even know that. There was something there. I didn't see that one. They're gonna need to do some spacing around that. Let's wait until this one is done, and then we'll go to break. And being that we see where these colors are being set, we can always go in there and update them ourselves if we wanted to. Let's run that over. Let's run it back. Let's run it back. Ooh, something's broken. Something is broken. Oh yeah. What is this issue? Oh, okay. Let me copy that. And then, all right, so I'm gonna copy that and then we shall go to our second break. I got this error when trying to run the app. So then once we get back, the next thing we're gonna do is gonna try to work on functionality. Hopefully this fixes the color so it makes a little bit more sense, but then I wanna work on functionality because I'm not really sure, like I clicked on the record, nothing really happened. So I gotta figure out what exactly we're gonna be doing with it. Because we would need something to, like, we can't just be speaking into the air. We need something to actually do for that speech app to be able to catch our so we'll figure that out. Something that I'll look through the requirements and ask it how we're supposed to use it and see if there's something missing, because there might be some placeholders and stuff like that. All right. So let me run this again real quick. Oh, that is nice. Let's go. Let's get it. Oh my god.
Let's get it. We the best.
We are the best. Round of applause. Round of applause. Let me run it on the Pixel as well. Let's see. Lost connection. Try that again. Okay. Let's go. I am excited. That is awesome. All right. We're going to break. We are going to break. I'm happy. I am happy. What a day. What a mighty good day. All right. Let's go to the chat real quick. Let's go to the chat. Junior says, if they are no good, then fire them. I have to get your fired sound bite back, but yes, I agree. If they're not good, then you are out of there. I will say this though, some companies hold on to people who are doing a good enough job for a time until they find a replacement like AI, because then they'll say, all right, we will take these really good people and we're going to give them the tools that we don't really need to this person who is bottom feeder. You know, we got my guy Rod Brown in the building. Says salute to everyone. Salute to you as well, Mr. Rod Brown. How are you doing today? All right, we are getting to our next. I gotta get a thing for that. We're getting to our next topic of the day. We are going to be talking about this. Did President Trump's energy shift save America's artificial intelligent race? Well, this one tech giant certainly believes so. Let's find out what they are talking about. What you talking about, Willis? Let's see what he has to say.
OpenAI is warning that China could surpass America in the AI race. Madison Allworth is at the AI conference in Washington. Madison, why does OpenAI say that we're in danger of losing?
They're saying that because they point out that we are not producing new electricity.
1 second. I'm gonna show this for Madison. What Madison just did, right, reminded me of my AI Samantha from Resume Flow when she's like moving her head, but no words are actually coming out. So watch carefully. Watch carefully what Madison. Let me see if I can zoom in on Madison. Shout out to Madison. Can I zoom in? Oh, it's going the other way. Oh, there we go. Oh, so if you zoom out, it zooms in. Okay, whatever. So check out Madison real quick.
They're saying
that right there. Did you see that? Did you see that right there? Just for that split second when she was like, that's what my Samantha does.
Say that we're in danger of losing.
They're saying that because they point out that we are not producing new electricity capacity as quickly as China. And that energy is so important for AI. So in that brief that was sent to the federal government, they warned that China is producing new electricity capacity about 10 times faster than the United States. And so because of that, they're calling on the federal government, the administration, to work with the private sector to build 100 gigawatts of new energy capacity annually. To put that in perspective, they say that in 2024, the U.S. created just 51 gigawatts of new electricity. We're here at GTC, so in the U.S. energy capacity to work with the private sector to build 100 gigawatts of new energy capacity annually. To put that in perspective, they say that in 2024, the U.S. created just 51 gigawatts of new electricity. We're here at GTC, so NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, he told reporters at this conference that the industry would have been in a much more difficult position if President Trump had not won in November and changed the direction of federal energy policy. He noted that the past policy was to cut back on energy and to hope that the economy would still grow. He said that just didn't make sense. So
He's throwing shots. He is throwing shots. All right. That if he actually said that, that is a major shot. If he said that the strategy of the prior administrations were built off hope. Let's just get rid of it and hope. Hope. That's great. All right, hold on. I gotta check this out again.
November and changed the direction of federal energy policy. He noted that the past policy was to cut back on energy and to hope that the economy would still grow. He said,
cut back on energy and hope. Pray, hope that the economy would still grow. What are we doing? Oh my God, what are we doing?
that just didn't make sense. So when I asked him about OpenAI's call, this proposal for 100 gigawatts, he was much more optimistic than the chatbot company, but he did agree with the need for more energy capacity.
Can we beat China in the AI race with our current electricity output?
The United States is ahead in the AI race, and we got to stay ahead in the AI race. President Trump on first day has been very pro-energy growth. If not for that pro-energy growth perspective and that initiative, we would be in big trouble. There's no question about that. We need a lot more energy to sustain the growth of American industries. We're going to manufacture chips, which needs energy. We're going to manufacture systems that needs energy. We're going to manufacture AI that needs energy. So we need a lot more energy.
So one other thing to note that Jensen Huang said, Stuart, that I think is so important is that other countries might be producing more electricity, but the U.S. has some of the most energy efficient AI, so we can do more with less. Stuart?
Good. All right, Madison, thank you very much.
Shout out to Madison and Stuart for that report, for bringing to us what Jensen Huang, from CEO of NVIDIA, said. Here's a question, though. Here's a question, and I have a reason I'm going to ask this. how often do you watch CNBC, Fox Business? Who else do they have? NBC, Fox Business, maybe Forbes. I don't know if CNN has one. Maybe CNN just has it on their regular website. But how often are you looking at these business related topics, what these CEOs are saying? I know so many people want to hate the billionaire CEOs. I hate them all. I hate them all. I used to hate millionaires, but now that I'm a millionaire, I hate billionaires. Right? I know that it is cool. It's what's vogue is to hate rich people, hate millionaires, billionaires, trillionaires, because we have trillionaires now, right? But how often are we looking at the videos, the articles of what they are doing, what they are saying, how they are moving? Because here's what I got from this, right? If the top GPU company, if NVIDIA, $5 trillion valuation, if the CEO is saying that we need more energy, the light bulb that goes into my head is, it sounds like whatever work that goes around energy, you still need to start looking that up. How can, if you're up and coming, how can I get a job in the energy related sector? If they say we need, if they say we produced 50 something last year and we need 100 gigawatts, what are my opportunities to get into that field? Because that role, whatever supports AI, we're going to need more of. So how can I get my foot in the door? How can I get into the field? What education do I need? Is there technology? Is there energy tech? What do they call it? Energy tech? Energy tech. Can I get into energy tech so that I can be part of the group of people who are building the infrastructure, building the technology that powers the 100 gigawatts plus that we're looking for, and that is going to propel the AI race so that we, America, defeats China in the AI race, right? That's what I'm thinking reading about this. Some people are gonna say, some people watching this video, they're gonna say, what? Those energy policies, bad. Ginseng one, bad. All billionaires, bad. They should just leave the country, right? And I'm seeing it as these are job opportunities. These are lifetime career opportunities that they are going to pay the bag. That's how I see it. That is how I see it. All right. We're going to get back to the chat and then one more segment of work for today. Let me see. I always losing my mouse. All right. So let me see. Junior like that one. Says, you calling Madison a large language model? Oh, you know what? That question, Junior, reminds me of when Rod Brown asked me on a live stream, what do I think about falling in love with large language models? Oh my God. You know what? I should go create a song. I'm in love with a large language model. Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is hilarious. Let me see. I'm telling you, they do the same. They did the same exact thing. It's like, and then they started. Maybe she is a large language model. You know what? You can never know in today's day and age. You can never know in today's day and age. Because how much different with Sora nowadays? How much different did you know what? Here's for you. Here's for you. I'm gonna do it.
Hi, I'm Samantha, and I want to start by saying something important. I see you. I see the late nights you've spent perfecting your resume. I see the disappointment when another application disappears into the void. I see the self-doubt creeping in, making you question your worth.
You saw that. You saw that. Her eyes were like, and then she started talking. You're telling me she did not do the same exact thing? She did the same thing. Madison did the same thing. All right. I'm just saying. I saw it because I see I play this video every stream. So I'm like, oh, Madison did the same thing. Maybe they are cousins. I don't know. Right. Oh my God. Robert says it didn't look real when Samantha did it, but when Madison did it, I was like, what? I just have to point it out because I'm like, I've seen this before. I have seen this before. Now I'm gonna question it. Now I have to question it. I have to question this now. Is Madison a large language model? Anyhow, enough fun and games. Enough fun and games. Let's get back to work. Let's get in one more segment of work. Let me drop in 20 minutes.
It's time to
Let's go back over here and this looks so beautiful. It looks so beautiful. All right. Now my next question. Oh, this is kind of like overlapping, but this is minor stuff. Like this is just like this is UI stuff we make pretty later on. But the question now becomes, after, let's say, okay, what part of the app is functional? Let me do this as ask is functional now. I can click start a session. And is it working? So I'm looking at stuff over here that said it's being started. Open audio session. Let's see if I click here. Oh, something's working. All right, while using the app. And it looks like it's recording. Is it? It is recording. Suspending all threads. Background concurrent mark compact GC freed. Let me see. It looks like it's working. Hello. Are you working? Please let me know. We're on a live stream right now. We're streaming, building this app, the Speak Precisely AI app, that's going to help people say less of like, maybe, you know. That's the goal of this app. Is it working? And let's say analyze. Filler words 14. Filler words 14, pace 155, pauses 3, interactive script. This is an example transcript where some filler words are highlighted. AI coach. Okay, so right now, so this is cool. Everything right now is being done with it's like placeholder text, right? Let's see. So okay, so let me say, instead of saying that, asking what part of the app is working, let's say I tried to record. I I tried to record and it worked, but I saw the analysis use placeholder text. What do we need to do in order to get this working and integrated with the AI analysis? Is this part of the spec kit tasks that haven't been implemented yet? All right, let's ask that question. See what we get. Of course, let's take a look at the current implementation of the analysis features and compare it with the, reading that, compare it with the task defined in the specification. This will help us understand what's been implemented, what's pending, and what needs to get AI analysis working correctly. First, I'll review the task defined at AI speech coach task, understand the complete scope of the feature. Then I'll examine analysis service to see how it's currently implemented. Finally, I'll check the transcription service to see if it's using placeholder data. All right, so it's looking at the tasks. Based on the task outlined, it appears that placeholder data is a result of user story 2 not being fully implemented. While the foundational feature for recording and basic analysis, user story 1 are complete, the advanced analysis, which includes crutch word identification, pause analysis, and a clarity score is still pending. To get a clear picture, I'll examine the current implementation of the analysis service and transcription service to confirm what is implemented and used and what is using placeholder data. After reviewing the code and the task, I can confirm that the placeholder data you're seeing is because the advanced analysis feature from Story 2 has not yet been implemented. Current implementation Story 1. This service is set up to call a Supabase Edge function speech to text. However, it is currently using a placeholder and doesn't actually upload the audio file for transcription. This is the root cause of the placeholder text of the placeholder transcript analysis service. This service is partially implemented. It can calculate words per minute and count a predefined hard-coded list of filler words. Pending implementation, the following task from this update analysis service to identify user-specific crutch words and update analysis service to detect pause length and frequency, implement the clarity score calculation, update the report page UI to display the new information. What needs to be done? To get the full AI analysis working, we need to complete the implementation of user story 2. This involves implementing the Supabase Edge function, speech to text. To be fully implemented, to call real transcription service like Amazon Transcribe, as mentioned in the project specs. Updating the transcription service. The service in the Flutter app must be updated to upload the recorded audio file to the Supabase storage and then call the Edge function with the correct file path. Enhance analysis service. The service needs to be expanded to include logic for crutch word detection. Okay. After reviewing the code and the tasks, I can confirm. Okay. How many times are you going to say the same thing? What needs to be done to get, all right. Says, all right, let's implement. We have time. Let's implement. I think it would be super awesome if we can make a little bit of progress on this. Let's see what it's doing. This is so cool. This is like, I am so excited about this because maybe about a month ago, we tried to install Supabase on DigitalOcean. It kind of messed up. It kind of got stuck, but we did some more research and I like, look, this app right here, I mentioned, like, I thought I saw one that existed and it's only on iOS, and the way I was doing some more research, like the way that it works, this is way better already. This is way better already. But the fact that like I give so many ideas away, and it is the reason that I don't really care about handcuffing ideas, because most people that you give an idea to, they will do nothing with it. And now I circle back to, all right, let's build it. It doesn't hurt us. And with AI now, it is so cheap. It is so cheap. All right, excellent. I will begin implementing the necessary changes to get the AI analysis working. First, I'll create a to-do list to track our progress. This will help us stay organized as we work through the required updates. After that, I'll start by modifying the transcription service to handle the file upload. To-do list, update transcription service to upload audio files to Supabase, implement the speech to text. All right, let's see. I'll modify. Now that the transcription service is updated to upload audio files, the next step is to implement the speech to text edge case. That function will receive the file path of the uploaded audio, transcribe it using third-party services, and return the transcript. I'll start by creating the directory for the edge function. Something I wonder though, how much is Amazon Transcribe? Let me see if I can find that real quick. Amazon Transcribe cost. Pricing. Let's go over here. So the pricing for Amazon Transcribe for what the? Whoa! Wait, hold on. Okay, no, okay, that's it. I take that back. All right, so for the first 250,000 minutes, it is 2 cents point or 2.024 cents per minute. Standard batch transcription. And then it goes cheaper the more minutes that you add. So that's for Ohio. It's more expensive for US East 1 that had the outage the other day. So for 15 minutes of transcription, pre-patient visit conversation between physicians, clinical managers, nurses, and others, 15 minutes would be $1.20. That's not bad. So, because what I'm also thinking about is like pricing and stuff like that. If we're gonna make this app available, how we would price it to be able to pay for the transcription, the AI usage, all that good stuff, because it ain't free. It ain't free. All right. So that's successfully implemented the foundational framework for the speech analysis. While the core transcription and analysis service are currently using placeholder data, the complete end-to-end flow is now in place. Here's how it works. Updated the upload audio files to Supabase and invoke speech to text. The placeholder speech to text function has been created. Returns a mock transcript. Enhanced the placeholder methods for detecting recording model. Updated to include the new analysis data. Okay, the next steps will involve replacing placeholder logic with actual implementation, but the application now is fully wired. All right, so let's say do it. Can we move forward with the next steps to replace the placeholder logic with actual implementation. Make sure you are updating the tasks.md when a task has been completed. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, I will now update. Okay. So we're going to need that transcription. All right. So what I'm going to do while that's happening, I'm going to go and log into AWS. Let me see. Console. Oh, not wrong place. Console. I wonder if Google has a service like that too. Okay. All right, get the phone. And we are going to Authenticator app. And we're going to go into all right. Okay, sorry, that's what they did. So I'm logged into AWS. What did you do? And here's one of the other problems, right? That I have with people using AI is they do not actually read through what the AI is doing to see if this makes sense or not. They just mindlessly and blindly just put in a prompt and they just accept it. I think it might be my background in QA. I don't accept anything that anybody says. I have to verify, I have to research, I have to check it out, I have to try it out. And then I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, I see where we're at. So that's why you always see me reading through what the AI is saying instead of just like, okay, next, instead of reading the last line, okay, next. No, it doesn't work that way. So that is also very, very important to be mindful of. Oh, where this is streaming to. I'm so confused. I have a vertical stream going somewhere that I have no idea where it's going to. That is so weird. Oh well. So I'll tell you about it after this, after we're done with this. All right, it says, okay, so I've updated this. Let me see. Replacing the logic. I will also update that. First, I'll create the to-do list to track. Okay. Implement real transcription speech. I will now update the speech to text. I will update the speech to text edge function to call the real transcription service. I will now replace the placeholder logic and analysis service with a more realistic implementation for crutch word detection. I've updated the crutch word detection. I will now replace the placeholder logic for pause detection. Okay. I will update the pause detection logic. Okay. I will now replace the placeholder logic for the clarity score. Okay. I will say this too, right? The way that they are developing this, it is a lesson on when and where to do placeholder logic to get a prototype up and running. And then now once you're actually building it out, what, like the way that I am impressed by the way that this is being built, I must say. I updated the clarity score, update task MD with completed task. I will now update, okay, we did that. Looks like, did I not do that? Error plan cannot open. Okay, whatever. Still trying. Okay, all that. All right, so now if we close that. Okay, so now I'm gonna say, ask where would I place the information for Amazon transcribe so that we can start doing the analysis? The API information. Let's ask that. All right, let's see. So, securely store your AWS credentials. You should never hard code your API keys or secrets directly in the function's code. That's fair. All right. And then use them with Supabase edge functions to call the transcribe API. Here's how you would typically set this up. You should, all right, so we know we do that. Supabase secrets set, and then your access key. Create a new access key. And then we'll do the Supabase region. or Supabase, your secret key, and then your access key. So I think we could do that directly in Supabase though, like in the UI. And then these secrets are then available as environment variables. So we already have that code in there. And then we would say Supabase bucket name. And then we would say, so this part, we will probably have to take this on next week because it's a bit of a heavy task, right? Let's see. So to integrate transcribe, you'll need to place API information within Supabase Edge function, but it's critical to do so securely using Supabase secret management features. You should never hard code credentials directly into your code. So what we could do, I mean, let me click this, right? See where it takes us. Let me see. Because I want to start integrating it, but we're going to need to start to go into. Okay, so what we'll do is, once we get this information, wait, I've updated the Supabase secrets to integrate with Amazon Transcribe. The function is now configured to use Amazon's SDK, AWS SDK, and will securely access your credentials from Supabase secrets. Before this works, you will need to set your Supabase secrets, okay, and then update the bucket name in Supabase, okay. Couldn't I do this as I could do this as a variable too, actually.
Lunch break.
Your Supabase bucket name. So this is, I'm gonna make this a variable or environment variable as well. Implement polling logic. The current implementation only starts with the transcription job. You will need to add a logic to pull Amazon transcribe for the job status and retrieve this transcript once it's complete. With these changes, your application is now set to use. Okay. All right, cool. I think we have a good game plan for next Sunday as we continue working on this speech app. And imagine this. Oh my God, I'm just thinking about some more ideas, some more value for this application. If you are a content creator who is looking to better speak, better communicate, maybe you say too much, maybe you say like too much, and you want to be able to better deliver your message, this app might be a solution for that, where it's going to take you speak to it, you can have a conversation with it, you can present to it, and it's going to capture that and transcribe it, give you an analysis, and give you some pointers on how to better speak, better communicate. So I'm seeing more and more value in it as we are building it out. All right, but we're gonna leave it at that. We are gonna leave it at that for today. Next week, we're going to jump into setting up these keys, and we are going to set up Amazon Transcribe to be able to connect to it, and we're gonna actually try it out. We are actually going to try it out. Look how much progress we have made in such a short amount of time. I am excited because we are the best.
We the best.
All right, let me check the chat, and then we actually have one more topic, break time topic to look into, and then we will wrap the show up. But let me check the chat first and see what everything is about. Let me see. We have Snow Bunny Bag Chaser in the building. What's up? I am the original Snow Bunny Bag Chaser. Happy to have you here. Thank you so much for stopping by. We got my guy Magnetar in the building.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
And I know that sound went through today. Look at that. We are, and by the way, for any content creator, presenter, I am loving OBS again. I'll tell you this real quick too, right? When I switched from OBS, I didn't have this computer right here. And this computer is so much more powerful than my previous MacBook. And now it's handling Docker, it's handling the software to build these applications. It's handling Docker. It's handling an emulator. It's handling Android Studio. It's handling OBS to stream. It's handling all my tabs that I have open. So I'm having such a great experience. But I share that because on this coming Wednesday, I am going to be premiering a video on how I set up my OBS sound to when I am recording or when I'm streaming, all the sounds go through what you're hearing now, right? But when it's recording, because it records and it streams at the same time, when I'm recording, it records on different tracks. So I can say, all right, let me lower, like when I'm editing for clips, let me lower the sound effects track. Let me increase my mic track. And you can balance it that way, which I was looking in the software that I used to use, and I didn't see that. I didn't see that option to where I can like say what sounds, what sources go on what track, which is a disservice. It is a total disservice. And I'm learning more about these different audio tracks through the work that I do, because I work in the video industry. So I do have a plan to go on a journey to get a lot more better with understanding how video technology works with because I know a lot, but there's still so much more to learn. So, but yeah, so that's going to be a really, really helpful, great video this coming Wednesday. So any content creator, any video person, definitely want to check it out, especially if you're making clips, right? Let me see. We have Magnetar says, Gemini was walking me through some car maintenance yesterday. I'm telling you, these large language models, they are whoever and whatever you want them and need them to be. They can be your mechanic whisperer. They can be your software engineer, your mobile developer. They can be whatever you want them to be. They can even be reporters like Madison. It can be journalists like Madison. Magnetar, Snow Bunny, you missed Madison. I thought that she was the cousin of my AI resume flow promotion, but another story. I'm definitely gonna clip that up. That's gonna be a short. That is gonna be a short. Let me see. Magnetar says it corrected itself twice during the entire exchange. It does that. At least it admitted that it was wrong, because a lot of times, Magnetar, people have a hard time admitting when they are wrong. And I've seen that AI, it is the first to admit when it's wrong. So that's interesting. Let me see. And Snowbunny back here said gem. All right, let's jump into this last topic really quick. Where is it? Okay. Layoffs. Tomorrow's video, Canon Conversation premiere, noon Eastern time, is going to be about layoffs. It is going to be about layoffs. What? Not right. Hold on, let me fix that. Where is, let's go to, let's go with this. All right, there we go. Boom. Let's jump into major employers announcing white collar job cuts. I'm telling you, these layoffs are happening. They are coming fast and furious. Too fast, too furious. No Tokyo Drift. No Tokyo. You know, I've actually never seen Tokyo Drift. Anyways, that's neither. Maybe I'll watch tonight. I've been so productive this weekend. It's even with the time change that I have like maybe an additional 10 minutes of extra time today that I can watch a movie, maybe Tokyo Drift, right? But let's jump into this very, very last topic of today. Major employers announcing white collar job cuts.
Bruh.
I will say, this particular anchor on Fox Business, she doesn't really look very happy most of the times that I see her. For some reason, she just doesn't really seem to be the most happy person that I've seen. But let's watch this video together.
Adopting AI in the workplace and white collar jobs. Well, these are quickly adopting AI in the workplace and white collar jobs. Well, they are evaporating this week. One of the largest, nation's largest employers, Amazon, made its message to office employees.
Okay, now I know why she's normally not happy, because every time I see a video with her and she's talking about AI, it's like doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. I think she had said on one of the videos. Oh, okay, now I remember. Because she was making a case against AI, and she was like, "Oh, when I called some customer service thing, and they could not get like the AI thing, or it wasn't even, it's probably not even AI, because before AI they had the automated answering thing, right?" And she was like, and they kept getting it wrong, and until I finally got to a human, and so you still need humans around. And the other guy was like, or we can just make the technology better. He had a point there. He had a point there, because look, you are not going to be employing 40,000, 50,000 call center workers. All right. So, but that's what I remember, because like she's always like kind of a little bit on the pessimistic side of things.
It's quite clear
when it comes to AI.
Here, thank you, but no thanks. Amazon, of course, isn't alone. To off week, one of the largest, nation's largest employers, Amazon, made its message to office employees quite clear. Thank you, but no thanks. Amazon, of course, isn't alone. Big companies are realizing they can reduce headcount and cut costs without risking productivity. And this could just be the tip of the iceberg. And this is the disconnect, DJ, that we're seeing in the marketplace right now. You're seeing these big AI companies keep running and running and running. And then you've got your big consumer companies using AI to become more efficient. We're not necessarily saying that they're having problems. They're trying to adjust to make the bottom line more profitable. That's what any corporation does. But it's coming at the expense of employees and headcount. And this is sort of the big bad wolf in the equation coming into reality.
Right, classic creative destruction, right? We get a new technology, increases efficiency, productivity, sounds great. You do have job losses in the near term. Now, in the long run, one of the things I think people are missing with AI is the fact that, yes, it is in many instances a substitute for labor, but it can also be a complement. I've already started using it in a whole host of different applications. So it can make some employees more efficient, more productive. That's going to drive real wage growth. And so you end up actually seeing, as with all these different technologies, you end up seeing a net increase in employment, but that's over the long run. To your point, Jackie, in the short run, can you see these kinds of disruptions in the labor market? Absolutely.
Is this, Brian, part of what is driving that fear that we were talking about earlier? The fear of young people and older people, but people across the board to want to embrace AI because they start seeing headlines like this and say, whoa, it's probably only going to get worse from here.
Well, there's reality, and the reality is there's going to be displacement. Then there's the layer of ideology people put on reality, which is you've got displacement.
That was the guy who was like, yeah, we're not going to be hiring 50,000 people to answer phone calls anymore, which I have to agree with. Like, and there's been times I don't really like, because now you can do everything through chat online and stuff like that to get things resolved. But there was a time when you would call customer service and you'd be on hold for like 50 minutes. And then once they actually answer, you get attitude, right? And you're like, can I think of somebody else? Say.
This is the ill of capitalism, therefore we must abandon capitalism. That's the part that I get concerned about, because I think people are buying that narrative. I think one of the problems is, a lot of this is hitting college graduates. It's not the tech, it's not the trades worker or the Votech school or whatever. This is hitting the college grad. And I think colleges, among the many lies they have sold for a long time, one of them was come to college, run through the system, get your stamp, and you are entitled to a job. And
he is 1000% right. The idea growing up was go to college to get a job. Go to college to get a job. Go to college to get a job. And it didn't even really matter what you majored in. And now, see, that's the part where college itself is not I'm going to take it back. College is somewhat of a scam. Because they also make these programs available to students knowing that they have no chance in hell of using it for anything. No chance in hell for using it for anything. So that, to me, that's part of the scam. But going to college for STEM, for instance, right? Very helpful. Nursing, doctors, engineering, getting that education, super. But there's some stuff that people go to college for hobbies. And they go into hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt for a hobby. I get annoyed having, like, when I do a jiu-jitsu competition, right? I get annoyed if I don't sign up on, like, by the lower cost day, which is like, so it costs about $130 to sign up, right? If I miss the deadline for the early entry and it's like I have to pay $160, I'm like, I'm not doing it. But people, and that's a hobby. That is a hobby. But people will pay $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 for a hobby. I'm a triple masters and who knows what. Hey, what can you use it for? Nothing. So then it doesn't even matter. So I agree with him on that.
That has been a destructive model because these kids, like, I studied finance, therefore I should get a finance job. Like, no, you had an opportunity to study finance, but if your school was not supportive of where finance is going, it's not going to help you get a job. I think we need to break the...
I didn't even watch. I did. This is my first time watching this video, and he's saying the same exact thing that I said.
Conveyor belt link that we've created between school and jobs. AI is going to do that for us, whether we like it or not. And the sooner we help young people understand that, the better choices they'll make about how they prepare for a career. And it might not just be get the piece of paper, put it on the wall, and then complain about the fact that I can't get a job.
And when I think of
that's the same exact thought and sentiment that I had. That is, like, people go to college for a piece of paper, a $200,000, $300,000 piece of paper. And then they're like, but Kanye West, a college dropout. My degrees keep me warm. My degrees keep me warm.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Everything is a competition. Everything, I say it again, everything is a competition. So that means you have to do what other people aren't willing to do. So you might have to study more. You might have to take on more projects. You might have to do more internships. You have to network more. You have to get in the door. And then once you get in the door, then that is when you supercharge. You supercharge it and you go running and you want to be the best. Starting off with what I was saying earlier today. With the icebreaker from today. Stand your ground. Stand strong. Do it alone. Because everyone should have their own best interest in mind. So people are going to do it for themselves, so you got to do it for yourself, all right?
about AI and the conversations we've had about trade school, for example, Lydia, you could almost say skip college altogether, take classes in how to harness the power of AI like it is a trade, and that would be all you need to be off and running.
And it seems like that's becoming a more and more attractive proposition for a lot of folks every day. You know, I think it was encouraging a few weeks ago. You might remember we saw the White House, the First Lady there, Melania Trump, of course, convening a big task force work group talking about AI and how it's changing the labor market. And when she was speaking, along with the labor secretary there, they were speaking not just to people that are coming up the next generation, you know, young folks that are in school now and what kind of education they're going to need. But they also spoke to people that are, you know, going to have to transition this change in the workforce and getting re-educated. And so I think this is going to be a challenge to some of us, all of us, on being nimble and staying on top of our own game and being willing to kind of take up some new skills. The Wall Street Journal has this piece about, how folks have been on the sideline now for some of the months, you know, after layoffs that have been really hard. My heart really goes out to them. The flip side of that, though, is the long-term benefit and the trade-off. I will say AI is not perfect yet. You know, I'm a former lawyer like yourself. I'm in a lot of discussion groups about how AI is changing the legal community. Those jobs are really taking a hit. But I'm also seeing just as many posts and warnings out there about how what AI is doing to the law right now with the brief writing and stuff. It is far from perfect. It's, you know, the what do they call it? The AI hallucinations where they come up with, you know, fake case law and fake paragraphs. It's showing up in real court briefs because people are just feeling the pressure to operate too fast.
Real quick, Brianna.
And that is dumb. Like if you're putting AI hallucinations in court briefs, like I think hallucinations in AI are helpful if you do your due diligence and you follow up on it. But you cannot just let AI do all the work for you, because if that's the case, then you should be replaced. But you have to use it as a tool. If it references something, that's why I was saying I read through everything that it's saying, or 90% of the things I'm reading through. I'm like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that. I need to participate. AI is my accomplice, not my slave, not my Toby. All right? AI is not Toby, okay? It is your accomplice. It is your partner in crime. All right? Let's finish this video off.
On this aspect, you would think that it would be lower-end warehouse jobs. We were talking about white-collar jobs. And when people start to talk about white-collar and more high-paying jobs, that becomes scary. Now, the Republicans and President Trump are big proponents of AI. Does this politically come back to bite them?
No, not if they use this as an opportunity to reorient, in particular, college students, right? I mean, we're talking about rare earth minerals. Look, we have no refineries, no processing capabilities here. This is a great opportunity to go to college students and say, here's an avenue which AI might not be able to dominate for a while. This is a place where you're not going to lose your job, right? So we have to push students towards paths where there is something that is tangible and not something that is really just, you know, intellectual, because that's where AI is going to go first.
You mean stop subsidizing like gender studies degrees?
You got it, Brian.
Maybe if you want to get a job, don't stop
art, you know, Asian art history, things like that. I took that class in college. It's a major.
Out the things that we thought were so obvious,
yes,
but you know, still take time to resonate with the masses.
There you have it. There, that was a fascinating discussion. I think, see, and here's part of the problem with people, is that they will get into a job, a company, and they will just do what is required. And I come from the belief and the camp of what's his name again? Robert C. Martin, the clean coder, right? Where?
What's this?
Shout out
oh, it's only money.
Shout out to my guy, Magnetar. Shout out to you. Always. I'm going to read that super chat in just 1 second. But I am of the belief and mindset that you have to practice. Like, you have to continue to build your skill set. And you can't stay stagnant because technology changes, society changes, the world continues to spin. So just because you get a job, you can't just sit there and like, oh, okay, well, I got this job now, because guess what? At some point in time, the exact job that you're doing will not be needed anymore. So when you have these people like where oh, I used to work for this company for 20, 30 years and now there's layoffs because they don't need us anymore. Sorry? What were you doing for 20 to 30 years? You have to continue to learn, grow. Can a mechanic, Junior, as a mechanic, can you rely on the same car, the same books that you worked on 20 years ago to help you fix a car or to guide you to fixing a car that just was made last year? You need the manual. You need to grow. You need to know how the new parts work. It doesn't. We all need to continue to learn, study, grow. It's not, you don't do that on the job. There's no such thing as quote unquote on the job training. No, you have to develop your skills. I say a minimum of 10 hours a week outside of work, where you are working on your development in whatever industry that you're in, studying, practicing, projects, building something. I would say though, I really want to say 20 hours minimum, but I'm being graceful. I am being gracious, but it's really 20 hours a week. Anyways, that's it. That is it. Let me check the chat one last. We are going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Truly, truly appreciate you. Let me read this real quick. I got my guy Magnetar with the $5 super chat. I appreciate you. Said, bruh, I didn't even know NVIDIA was over $200. I bought it a while back and kind of haven't been tracking. Feds, we up. Snitches, holla. Cornball crew.
Ain't believing us.
My NVIDIA is crazy. My NVIDIA, my Apple, I just go for the big players, and I just throw in money every single week. I just keep it flowing. Right? All right, let me go back to the chat to see what I've missed. Let's see. Somebody says, very monotone, and you're right. Doomsday all day. she's always on the same, like her AI ticks are always the same thing. Oh my God, jobs are losing. Oh, here's what I was gonna say. In regards to that video as well, on this channel, I demonstrate how using AI. So when you see all these companies are laying people off, I always say that this opens up opportunities for smaller companies to have employees that were handcuffed, that were held hostage by these other companies. They released the hostages. Now, smaller companies who have great ideas can have access to amazing minds, and have them use AI as well. So on this channel, on Tuesdays, we're building the time cost calculator app. On Thursdays, we're experimenting with different applications, but we were trying the Create Anything platform, where we were able to build an OBS lower third plugin. On Sundays, we somehow messed around and fell into building this speech analysis app. I have the coaching portal. I have the content creation, assistant portal. There's resume flow. And everything has AI integrated in it, and AI plays a major role. So I just named about 7 different things that we're doing. About 7 different things by myself. Only one person is working with me on the resume flow. Somebody that I'm coaching. Oh, I didn't even mention the homeschool app. The one that I built for my wife. The payroll app that I built for my mom. I'm not even thinking. I forgot about those. So when you're telling me that, oh, these major companies that you hate anyways are firing people, well, you didn't want them to be that big in the first place, and now they're opening opportunity. So that's how I see it. Let me see. Manager says, remember when we said about the market manipulation in Zuckerberg? Yup. It says Janet Yellen tried to do that with crypto. They tried to kill crypto, kill AI. It was crazy. It says Junior says that's a fact. College is definitely for hobbies in this day and age. Yup. It says Snow Bunny says, grab the links, love it. Sorry to myself if I dragged my feet. Getting here today is what counts. No. I truly appreciate you being here.
I appreciate you.
And I am looking forward to what you are working on. It says, you are the brain. I am starting to get it. Shout out to, do I have my brain, my pinky?
Cheers, mate. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
I have a sound effects for that. Junior says, absolutely not. You need a new manual. Things change from model to model, let alone year. Exactly. But that's what I was saying. Like, but these people, they'll get into the field and they just go stagnant, and then they get mad when someone replaces them or when technology replaces them because you didn't keep up. You didn't keep up with the tech. Right? And Junior says, great show as usual. Thank you so much, Junior. And somebody says, not to mention the new computers in the exactly. Somebody says, awesome. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you.
And let's see. It says especially OBD1 and OBD. Tell me about it. Man, you know they used to charge you like $2 to $250 to do the OBD scan, and I was like, I bought my own. Now they probably sell them for like less than $100, but I bought my own OBD because I had so many cars. I used to be like, they had issues. I had to like try to fix them myself. I used to be. There was one point in time I had like 4 or 5 cars parked in front of my house. In front of my parents' house. But yeah, like I like just bought my own to see what's wrong with it, swapping out parts. It's crazy. Anyways, that's enough for today. That is enough for today. Really appreciate everyone for tuning in. Last reminder, tomorrow, Candid Conversation at noon Eastern time, talking about these layoffs and how to navigate the layoffs and strategize so that you can prevent being affected, but if you are affected, how to move so that you can get back to it right away. And then, like I said, we're going to be live again Tuesday night, working on the time cost calculator. We're probably going to be continuing working on our testing of it, adding our unit tests, adding our widget tests, adding our integration tests, all of that good stuff. You know how we do here. You know how we do here. Sign up for Resume Flow. Sign up for the waitlist for the coaching portal to help you stay organized, help you level up, all of that good stuff. But that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here, Junior, Snow Bunny, Magnetar, Rod Brown, all of you guys. Really appreciate you. You guys have a wonderful day. TechnoTruff, we are out.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Said it was a 5, but it's 6 feet deep. Now I'm digging through the rubble of the plans I keep. You flip the switch, you flip the script. Left me stranded on a sinking ship.
I asked for one thing, just one, but you spun the web. Now it's all undone. Chasing tails, chasing ghosts, losing myself in the cold outpost.
You said it was a vibe, a vibe I could ride, but now it's a tide.
won't keep. I'm trapped in this loop, can't escape. Reality woes, the edges reshape.
Rabbit holes got me spinning down, burning tokens till I hit the ground.
As for one thing, now it's all gone wrong. Kill my vibe like a flatline song.
Gotta restore it all, rebuild the flow, but you left me here with nowhere to go. Patch it up, stitch the seams, lost in lines, rewriting dreams. What was broken, I'll make it new. You can't delete my soul.
Every move you made was a match to a fuse. Every word you said felt like bad tattoos.